for my dreams to be heard. They will not be but shy silent turn into your own. All cause you won't listen.
Wagwan people dems. So you know already it can't be a recording night and we not sprinkle a little Gabriel in there somewhere. Like that's just not the rules. It's just not the rules. So I thought I saw that he'd come out with a new song today, but I think I got that wrong. I thought it was called like Nobody Hurts Like This or something. But I don't think so because I can't see it on his page. But what I have come across is something that I'm genuinely baffled that I haven't reacted to yet. Because you know I love me some Gabriel and you know I love me some Beyonce. And for what I'm led to understand, the Brazilians also love Beyonce too. Like, and I remember I mentioned it in my when I went to go and see her in my video reaction. And I never ever spoke about it, but there were, I remember, getting my words out, there were so many Brazilian flags at the concert that I was at. And I was like, imagine you travelled so far, so far. Especially like, even when you get to England, like Sunderland is still so far away. Like from, well, I guess it depends on where you flew into, I suppose. But it's not close to London anyway. And to think people have travelled so far to come and see the Queen. I mean, that's amazing. So I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this with me as well. Well, I hope I do. I mean, let's be real. If Gabriel's on a tune and he's doing a Beyonce song, I mean, it's almost a foregone conclusion, right? So this is him singing a cover of "Listen," which I just can't believe I've never listened to him. I've never listened to him doing "Listen." Okay then, let's waste no time.
Listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the song from deep breathing. It's only beginning to find release. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be but shy silent turn into your own. All cause you won't listen. Listened.
Wow.
There is someone here inside. Some red thought hair died so long ago. Oh, I screaming out, and my dreams will be heard. They will not be but shy some rain words into your all cause you won't listen. Just
Do you know what? I have to give him his props because that was a year ago, yeah? And I think, listen, I'm always going to be honest in this channel, right? So I don't want anyone to think I'm just, you know, there's a phrase in, well, I don't actually, let's not say that phrase. I don't think it's politically correct. But basically, like, you know, you could end up just being like, oh my God, I love this person so much. But, you know, it's good just to be, you know, I guess realistic about the things that you think too, right? So I think one of the first things I noticed about this is I could really hear, which I haven't heard for a really long time, obviously him singing in English, there were definitely a few phrases in there that I think were kind of missed, I suppose, which didn't in itself take away from the song, but it was quite noticeable, and more so than like usual, I think, really. But the reason I bring it up is because it's so clear how far he's come, and again I say that because a year ago, if I'd heard him singing anything in English, and yeah, I probably would have picked up on his accent and maybe certain phrasing, maybe. It would have been so slight that I wouldn't even noticed it. But I guess his ability now to you know, sing in both his native tongue, Portuguese, and also within English as well. The fact that he can do that so well, it's just really highlighted here how much growth he's made. So I think that is amazing, just to see that level of growth in him. I think as well, I think, you know how usually like I'm just really super connected to his song? I probably only got super connected when it got to the end, which is unlike me, because usually from the minute, I mean, obviously his tone, and I love his tone, everyone knows that, but I think maybe I just put too much pressure on it. Maybe because I was like, you know, it's the Queen song and it's King Gabriel. Together they're going to make some like royal baby. Right? Do you know what I mean? So maybe I put too much pressure on it in terms of what I was expecting to come from it. I would love for him to sing this now. I would look, you know, with all the songs that we've seen recently, Great Thou Art, and you know, Fly Like a Bird, and all the really the Minnie Riperton song, like all these like really amazing, like really like vocally mature performances. I'm not saying this isn't one, but obviously it's a year ago, so you know, I would just like to see what he would do with it now. Because if I'm honest, I think that was very like formulaic, if that makes sense. Like, and I think that's the reason why when it got to the end, even though that is what Beyonce does in the song, I really heard him in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I didn't hear him in the rest of it, because obviously, you know, it's still Gabriel, but I don't know, I just didn't feel as connected to this, which is really bizarre because it's Listen, it's a Beyonce cover, and it's Gabriel. I mean, this is, if you were going to put anything on anything, it would be this. But yeah, I don't get me wrong, I liked it. I did like it. I'm not going to say I didn't like it, because I did. But I don't know whether I loved it as much as I usually love everything else. Do you know what I mean? But you know, like, it's been a year and a half, guys. A year and a half, pretty much. So I mean, that's some good going. Like, that's some good going for there to be anything shy. Because you got to think, he's middle of the road, and I think and this is the problem, right? When you set the bar so high, so consistently, like at what point does second be enough? Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay. Okay. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and usually I'm ranting and raving, but my favourite bit, like I said, is the end. That end part where he brought that right down, and he did that run. My that bit. Like, I was all over that. That was really, 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 really nice and really beautiful and tender and, yeah. But you know what I'm saying. You know, I love him. I love me some Gabriel. I always, and this is the thing, I always will. You know, there's artists now where they're just your pleasure. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't really matter what they. It's a bit, again, not to go back to Beyonce, but it's a bit like Beyonce in that there is probably nothing that she could do musically that I wouldn't enjoy, because I've just had so many years of enjoying her music that she is just very much in my lane. Like, I like her. I like her creativity. I like her sound. I like what she physically sounds like on a track. But there are tracks of her. I mean, she's my favourite artist on the entire planet. She's my fave. But there are still some songs of hers that I'm like, I don't love it, but I like it. So, you know, I guess it's a nice place to be where you can be like, you know what, I rate this. May not be my fave, but I rate it. I do rate it. So, again, I'd love to know what everyone else thought about this as well. Let me know your comments and thoughts below. Some of you might be like, Luke, I get dumb. But some of you might agree. I don't know. But it'd be great to hear what you thought anyway. If there is a new Gabriel song out, by the way, and I just can't find it, please let me know. Because I'm sure I saw one. I'm sure I did. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then do drop me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I do have a Patreon as well, so if you want to head over there. And honestly, guys, it's great. Thank you so much for all my patrons who already do show some support there. It just really encourages me to kind of continue, and I can use that kind of stuff to, you know, just do stuff for the channel, that better equipments and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you very much in advance. For now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.